I really love wild salmon, but I worry about them a lot. I think we all should. There's been such growing evidence lately of harmful diseases in farmed Atlantic salmon on our coast that today my friend Steve and I decided to go investigate the effluent pipe of a farmed salmon processing plant near our home. So the fish that are being slaughtered today were raised by Cermaq Canada at their Raza Island site in the Discovery Islands, and then loaded onto a packer and transported to this processing plant in Browns Bay on Vancouver Island, which we were very curious about. As I approached the outfall pipe and my lights illuminated the bloody water, I think I just about choked on my regulator. It was unbelievable what I saw. The processing plant was releasing the blood of thousands of farmed Atlantic salmon right into British Columbia's largest wild salmon migration route. A third of all the salmon in British Columbia swim past this bay. Norway, where this industry came from, demands extensive disinfection of blood water because they've associated disease outbreaks with the release of infectious waste from these processing plants. Go figure. But in beautiful British Columbia, we're just dumping it in the channel, but it's out of sight, so no one knows. Scientists from Fisheries and Oceans Canada have recently confirmed that Piscine reovirus, that was brought to BC from Norway, causes the highly contagious disease HSMI. This disease damages the heart and skeletal muscle of salmon. 80% of Atlantic salmon on British Columbia's coast have Piscine reovirus. Are we crazy? We all know blood carries viruses. This is an infectious disease. And yet we're mixing it with these. Juvenile wild chum and pink salmon in the very same bay that we're dumping farm salmon effluent from the packing plant right over here, only a few hundred feet away. So you can see the pipe.
You know, we're at a critical point now. The oceans are a mess, and we can do what we've been doing now for over 50 years. Bring in a new technology thinking it's wonderful, and then finding out later, oh my God, there are consequences we never understood. Just want to remind you, when DDT was found to kill insects, we thought that was a wonderful thing. And we awarded Paul Mueller, who discovered that, a Nobel Prize in 1948. Then we discover, oh my God, the eagles are disappearing. And we discover something we didn't even know about called biomagnification. Over and over again. Remember CFCs and how we used to use CFCs? Then they found out, my God, it has an effect on the ozone layer. I didn't even know there was an ozone layer up there to affect back then. So we keep thinking we're so clever without acknowledging how ignorant we are. When fish farms, open net pens came into BC waters, and people like Jim Fulton, who was an MP for Skeena, we said, this is crazy. If you're going to farm fish, grow them on land. Don't use the oceans as a sewer. Now,
everything you see to the left, they trespassed. And trespass is for a company that's supposed to know what they're doing. I can take them to civil court over and I can sue them for a lot of money. But they've done everything to delay it because you can only sue for 2 years. So they've delayed. But my property goes up to the gravel pit. My bench?
Oh, it's your bench.
Yeah, that's all my land, everything that's fenced. So that's what they trespassed on.
So this fencing
is to mark a riparian area. It's a visual for the photos.
Right.
Because even with my fencing there, when they send their maintenance crew, I'll come in and just walk in. They are not allowed to step on my land and they still trespass. Yes, they did.
For the replanting of the right.
And then on the left, you'll see any trees. I've taken off them.
The Wild Salmon Defenders Alliance are very happy with the day today. Big success. We have lots of media coverage. Hopefully it turns out good. We want to honor Martin Sheen and the beautiful Sea Shepherd crew, Alexander Morton, Willie Moon, OCM, Yahyukasai. We, the people all along the river, are in solidarity with the Musqueam, the Wadeno.
Definitely not our least.
Quest to get the
Is traditional Zawadanic leader, Willie Moon.
Before I say anything, I would like to recognize Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, for allowing us to be on their traditional land here. And I'm very honored to be here today to speak to this voyage. I was a part of it last year when they came into our territory. And I was quite happy to hear they were coming back in again this year. And I know for the past 30 years, our nations have never signed any agreement with the fish farming industry or the governments to say they could come into our territory. For 30 years we have said no to the industry, and 30 years it has fallen on deaf ears. We have 2 new governments in, and we have asked a few times now for the Prime Minister to come and meet with my people to talk about how we're going to get rid of these fish farms out of our territory. And now that we have a new provincial government, I'm calling on John Horgan and his group to come to my community and to meet with our people and talk and plan on how these fish farms are going to be removed out of our territory. We have never signed an agreement with them, so they are trespassing into my territory, and I get very fed up with them when they come out and say, oh, you guys are coming in to trespass into our territory.
I went for a shoot, didn't I?